Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of painting and decorating Crazy Baker style. First, today we're going to be starting off where we're going to be showing you a tip of cutting in down the sides there, and also the technique of actually rolling the wall. This wall has been just washed over with, which I showed you the other day. So it's all now prepared. Basically it's day 2. So today I'm doing the ceiling and everywhere in this particular area we got. So at least there's one consolation, this will all be one coat. And then the following day I'll be doing coat 2. I suppose I better get on with it. Now before we start any type of paint work, just give it a good stir around first. If you've used it yesterday, today it'll be fine. But this one hasn't been used. It's practically a brand new one. A little tip also, if you're buying one of these, always buy 2 at the same time, just to guarantee you've got the same color. Because it has been known for paint to change. So what tools do we need today? Brush, roller and tray. And also what you want is a good thick piece of cardboard. I'm going to show you the technique I use when I do the wall. Now a little tip for you, this roller I've had for about three or 4 weeks and I've not washed it. Little tip, plastic bag, all that is cling film on there. Clever stuff, innit? So what we need to do is get some paint on your roller. And it's very simple. You put your card against the wall, and make sure it's into the corner, and all we're going to do is go straight down, like that. And again. And then just go over the edges, just to smooth it off. Now, you could find you've got the corner still, but don't worry about that, because when you go the opposite way around, you do the same again. So this is going to be another technique I'm going to show you. And this is where you're using the roller on both sides of the edges. Very simple and easier way, but it's important once again that you smooth off the edges of the paint. Otherwise it won't join. Otherwise you'll get a very heavy buildup of paint. So you've got your edge here and there. So what we're going to do is roll down here and roll down here, but smack on the middle using that end. So we're going to go up like this. And because you've gone down there, you've left a mark this side. So what you need to do is go back down this side just to smooth it off. But always smooth off your edges, because what your idea, you don't want to, so it sort of flares in to the rest of the paint. Never worry too much about that line, because at the end of the job, when you get to coat 2, you can cover that, because this type of paint will just, everything will just disappear because it's white, and it's to do with the reflection in your eyes. So when you look at it, you'll always have light, or there'll be a dull part. And for instance, you can see now, you've got a dull piece here and light there. And this is the whole point of having things white, because when it's all nice and white, you've got that like contrast between the different colors. I know it's black and white or a gray, but believe me, when you sling a yellow or an orange or a different color at the wall, you change the color of the wall. I always find white is always the best color to paint with. Besides that, you don't get much variation, but what I do enjoy is once the job's been done and you put your other lights to it, you can make the whole room change into a different color altogether just by adding a different color light bulb. It's so easy and simple to do. Whereas if you want that part of the wall red, you shine a red light at it and that whole wall would become red. So white is a brilliant color. And you'll find a lot of these fancy houses always go for white. It's because they're always putting other lights with it. I mean, you could argue that let's have a color on the wall, but you always get tired of colors on walls and you have to repaint. But the thing is, you can always change a light. And today, you know as well as I do, you can buy those mobile apps and buy lights to change colors. So you could actually put a light up there or underneath to glow upwards, and you could change the whole colour of that wall. Gives me a good idea. I might do that, because in my Crazy Baker studio in there, I've already got a light which changes the background, and I might do the same in here. When the skirting's down, stick a line of it along, and then have it off the mobile app, and then I can change the colour of the wall. Good thinking, Steve. Right, we'll get on with the painting. So this is all going to get its first coat, and then I'm going to go right across the top, and then tomorrow I'm going to give it its second coat. This is my favourite job now, getting that first coat on, because it starts to look like a finished job. And now I'm going to show you a technique of using your roller. Very simple and easy. Make sure you've got plenty of paint on. Now I'm just going to start randomly here just for you guys. So at the bottom, easy enough to do, is just go along the bottom and then up, and then spread it out across the paintwork so it's nice and even. The idea is not to do too much overlapping, but because you're on your first coat, it doesn't really matter too much. By the time you get to your second coat, that'll be the one that really wants to be spot on. What I do is, most of the time, what I do is one half and then I work that way. Or I might change it, I might come that way. It depends how you want to do it, because I do it the way I think's right. Because at the end of the day, everyone's got their own way of doing something. Once you've got a technique of using the roller, it's your technique. Each painter and decorator's got their own technique. So even if you follow somebody else and say, oh, that ain't the same, but it's the same as baking bread. Everyone's got their own way of doing things, and this is my way. And just in case you're wondering, I've been doing this for over 30 years. Oh, and I'm a baker. See, now just by looking at this, now I've painted the wall. Now you can see the patch I haven't done. Hopefully this will show up on the camera. So this patch I haven't done. This is what actually shows up. But as fast as you're doing it, this can be drying out. So getting the right light on it does help. Sunlight is brilliant, but if it's too sunny, it's a killer. So we'll get that done. Because I've got the lights on in here for studio lights, it's sort of making the wall look a little bit different today. But I am going to be doing a review on this paint, and I expect you're going to be looking forward to that, because I'll tell you more about the paint I'm using and how good it is and what coverage you're supposed to expect from it, and how much water you can actually physically add into it. It's not a trade product, it's just a really good paint. That's that wall done. Now tomorrow, we're going to be doing the second coat. So we've had the wash, that's the first coat, and now we're going to be doing the second coat when it's dry. Give it 24 hours. And the funny thing is, this is how good this paint is. Once the paint's on the wall, you've got to give it time to cure, and usually takes around about 2 weeks. You can tell if it's not cured properly. It will have that like residue of white, like chalky on the top, but never worry about that. That's the whole point of the paint. But believe me, that is a real good, strong paint. There again, if you've got kids running around, you might want to go for a vinyl silk type product. The only downside with vinyl silk, and I'll tell you straight, if you get a bit of lifting or you tear it, it's like wallpaper. You can pull it straight off the wall, and that's like a lot of the brands. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and please share, and we'll see you again in the next video. Laters!